How's it going? My name is Josh Bullman, and I am here live. I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is live. So this is the deal. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. Todd Handel is asking, will Madi get more than 3 seconds to talk today? Here's the funny thing. No, because because she's not on today. But that's again. I mean, yeah, it's just how it goes. Today we are talking all things Coleader. A couple weeks ago, we introduced the Year 3 scope and sequence and walked through all of the different series that are going to be a part of Year 3, which is insane to believe that it is already, we're already in Year 3. When we started Year 1, I mean, we assumed we would get to Year 3 by accident, but here it feels like it's happened way faster than we could have even imagined. So this is how it's going to work. I've got questions that people have submitted already over the last couple of days that we'll be going through, but I would much rather hear questions live in the chat. As soon as if you ask one and we're going to answer it, I'm going to add it over to the side just like this, where Scott Tinman said he's ready for the wisdom of Josh Bullman. That's actually the name of my forthcoming book. This live stream is brought to you by Coleader and the wisdom of Josh Bolt. No, it's brought to you by everything that any podcast or live stream is brought to you by. Casper mattresses. We've got MailChimp. We've got Factor Meals is a new one that I keep seeing a lot of. And so yeah, so there we go. So here's the deal. Mike Hammer gets the first question. Oh, hey Mike, what's up? He says, how many years are projected? Now listen, I am not a prophet. I am not. I'm not. This is not. Me saying that this is absolutely, but my guess is 74, at least, probably, maybe not. So we'll see. But yeah, no, we are not. So here's what I can tell you. We are just now picking up steam, man. Like it is like if you think that that we're gonna be like 3 was fun, but we're no. Oh no. We are. Crazy. We're gonna keep going for a long time. Okay. Well, then last thing, Mike. Sounds self-published. That's hurtful. Self-publishing is publishing. It's not kind of. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna stop saying things that are not related to Coleader. Let me see. You know what? I'm gonna jump to the first question that we got the other day. Let me see. Is this okay? So somebody wrote in and they said, if I am new to Coleader, do I have to start with Year 1, or can I start, or can I just skip to Year 3? This is a question we actually get a lot. All right, so as you'll notice, I'm gonna jump over and I'm just gonna share my screen. Maybe. Oh wow, it's working. I wasn't sure that was gonna happen or not. And here's what you're gonna see when you get to the Coleader homepage. You're gonna see a lot of really cool things. But here, okay. Here's where we know some people have a lot of questions. Is there? You're going to notice there's year one, there's year two, and there's year three. And so when people have said, "Hey, we're going to jump in," and I want to start a co-leader subscription. I want to go all in. I want to do the whole thing. Let's go. And they're like, well, where do I start? And it, okay, it does seem like, well, you can start at year one, or you can start at year two, or you can start at year three, or you can start anywhere in the middle of it. Because one of the best things about co-leader is that it is super, super, super flexible. And so, like, say if you're like, you know what, I really like these series for year three, so I'm going to start here and say, yes, I want to definitely start with messed up. I want to go into the deep. Oh, whoops. I just, okay. Yeah, there you go. I want to do U-turn. I want to do the tough talk, but I'm not sure about this Wired series. What am I going to do there? Well, the best part about it is you don't have to go in order. You don't have to use every series. Say if you go to year two and you're like, I really want to use this Let's Go series, then you can. The best part about it is the entire subscription is based on credits. And so all you have to do is, as long as you have enough credits, you can use literally any series that you want. All of year one and all of year two is available right now. Year three, as you can see, is going to be starting dropping in July for the first quarter, and then we'll be dropping in September for the second quarter, December for the third, and March for the fourth quarter, which is great because if you're planning out your year, one of the really cool things, you're like, okay, Christmas. When am I going to get the Christmas series? Is it going to be December 1st? Is it going to be what? No. You're going to get December series, the Christmas series. You're going to get that in September, and then you're like, what about Easter? You're going to get Easter in December. You're going to have your Easter series in year three before Christmas even happens, or you could just go back to year two and you could say, hey, I want to use the Easter series here, this Last Words of Jesus. I just want to use it right now. Cool, great, you're good. All you do, click on it, and you'll click copy series, and it's yours. Not a problem at all. All right, so that was that question, right? So yeah, if I'm new to co-leader, do I have to start with year one, or can I skip to year three? I'm not your mom. You can do whatever you want. That's how it works. You can start at year one, you can start at year two, you can start at year three, or you can do a hodgepodge of any of it. One of the best parts about year one and year two is they're already tried and tested, right? So you can even go through and see reviews that people have left. Let me find one that's got a lot of reviews. Okay, so if you go, to your explore page, you're going to see on the front here. One of the things is our highest rated, and so like we've got. Oh yeah, okay. So Habits was one. So it's a 6-week series. It's probably our longest series that we've ever had on Co-Leader. But it's about 6 different spiritual practices of hang out with God, accountability, Bible study, involvement in church, tithing, and the sacraments. But if you keep scrolling, what you're going to find is reviews, and you're going to see people who we guarantee, like, they've used it and they've come back and they want to tell you all about it. So like that was a 10 out of 10. Hey Nathan, guess what? You can only give 5 stars, but he gives us 10 out of 10 there. So I think you get what he's saying. It's pretty good. Let's see. Oh, that's really nice. Todd Handel says that he would highly recommend Last Words of Jesus. It was a fantastic series. Love it. Daniel is also saying that he loves the flexibility that Co-Leader offers. Totally agree, Daniel. That's the best thing. Caleb Henry did ask, though, can I start in year 74? No. Well, okay, you know what? 71 years from now? Yes. Caleb, listen, Caleb, I'm going to make you a promise right here and now. Caleb, if you are still in youth ministry, if you are the youth the youth pastor, youth minister, student director, whatever title it is, at your church in 71 years, hit me up and we'll get you rolling. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right, let's see if we. Oh man, there's so many. Oh, you know what? This is actually a really good question. Aaron just asked. He said, "Is there a plan to add a feature to show series that are already purchased in my library? I tend to waste my credits rebuying series I already own." Aaron, I actually want to give you some really good news. This is a bug that we had fixed, and then we had accidentally unfixed it. The goal is, so look, if you ever go and recopy a series, it should not take credits away, but sometimes it does. And so if that ever does happen, please reach out to support. We will absolutely give you those credits back right away. But we are currently working on a fix for this to make it a lot more permanent. Um, so yeah. Oh man. Okay. There's a lot of morbidness happening. Todd Handel saying he won't be alive in 71 years. Josh isn't planning on being on Earth in 71 years, so it's a trick. That's a really nice way to say that I'm already old enough. 71 years more is not in the cards. That's really nice, Mike. Okay, all right. Let me look at see if we could find some other questions here. That's really fun. Okay, so yeah, here's something that actually Todd Handel brought up. It's not a question, more of a statement, but it's something I was going to ask as somebody else had already asked as a question anyway. Is start wherever you want and then magic swap what you want in, and you're like, okay, so what is magic swap? Well, I want to show you what magic swap is. So let me see here. I will go back to Chrome. Hey, there's Josh and Jess and Doug. What you'll notice is, as you're going through different credits or different. Sorry. Oh, it's because I'm logged in. What you'll see normally is you'll see a little button here that says Magic Swap. That all it means is like, hey, if you're going through the year and you're like, I love this, but I don't love this one, is it literally just means use your 30 credits however you want. Something that you can do is if you go to the Explore page and you click on Written Teaching, what you can do is you could actually filter by the number of sessions. So say if you have a series coming up that's 30 credits, which means it's 3 sessions, and you're like, I'm not sure that I love it, but I want to switch it out with something else. You can filter and find all of our 3 session series. So it's like, oh, you know what? Actually, I want to use this series by Matthew McNutt, the Ezra Continue. I've actually heard this is really, really good. Or you know what? I can jump into another one by Team Co-Leader. We've got Relationship Goals or GOAT or Masks or Unstoppable. So many of the 3-week series. So again, you can filter by the length of the series, and it's super, super helpful as you're trying to consider, okay, what am I like? I don't want to use this one. How do I find something to swap it out for? This is a really, really good way to do that. All right. So let's see if we've got. Let's see. Oh, this is probably one that we've gotten before. Is so when we started Co-Leader, we wanted to make sure that all of the teaching was consistent, right? So that you know what you're getting. You have an idea of how it works. And so what we call that the Co-Leader teaching format. So let me go. All right, I'm going to share. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping around on screens here. But so what you're going to find is that every lesson that we put out, so for every session, it's going to have a teaching script. It's going to have a teaching outline in it. And that outline and that script is going to follow a progression every single time. Anything by Team Co-Leader is going to have this progression. It's going to start with capture. And the idea is, as you're teaching, you know what it's like, right? You've got that row of seniors that's just sitting there that's just like, why am I here? Or you have that row of 6th graders that they're very excited to be there, but they're very excited to also kick the chair in front of them and to punch each other nonstop. And so what we try to do is right at the very beginning of every teaching script, we want to say, what is something that is either a story or something that you can tell your students about that's going to grab their attention. It's going to say, hey, why do I want to listen to this person that's teaching right now? And so a lot of times it's going to be either stories that are either in pop culture or in sports, or it's going to be a personal story from the teacher. And so even if it's that, we're going to help you craft that story by giving an example of a story of someone who helped us write the lesson. And then that's going to transition into our scripture section, where it's very much going to be, what is it that God's word says? And so one of the highest priorities for us at Co-Leader is we want to make sure that we are teaching students what God has told us in his word. And so you're going to notice there's going to be quote, like it's not going to be like in the book of Ephesians, it says something kind of like, no, we're going to quote it. It's going to, we're going to give you a slide that's got it on the screen. And then we're going to say, well, based on what scripture said, what can we learn? What does it mean? And so we go into our insight section, and every lesson is going to have anywhere from 2 to 4 concise, easy to understand insights that you can say, okay, we just read this. Now, what do I need to know about it? And it's going to say, well, because of what Jesus said, or because of what Paul said, or because of what Jeremiah or Isaiah, or whatever the passage is, because of what they said, this is something that we can know. And then after that, we'll jump into actions. We'll say, all right, so if we know what the Bible says, we now know what we've learned about it. What can we do? How can we live this out? We try to make these as practical as possible, because one of the things that I always thought when you're writing small group questions for your leader, is you're trying to figure out like how do we know if a student is able to internalize the thing that we're learning? And one of the best ways is, can they actually have something to do? Like, is there something that we can ask them, hey, this week, can you do this thing to show how this works out in your life? And then one of the best parts about these action steps being so tangible and so practical is the very next week, you're able to say, hey, remember how you said you would do this thing? One, did you do it? And not to shame them or anything like that, but just to be able to say like, hey, did it work? And then how did it go? And what you see is as students are putting these things into practice, what we've found, and this is through the experience of our team and our writers and all, you know this, right? Is that if students are listening to something, they're going to catch some of it. But if they're actually putting it into practice, they are so much more likely to internalize and actually apply that truth to their life. Then every lesson is going to end with discussion questions, and we usually go anywhere from 8 to 10, maybe 11 at the most. And we try to put these discussion questions in an order where they start out kind of surface level, like we just want to get them talking, right? Because it's like you get the whole group of 7th grade girls sitting around in a circle, and you're like, so. And it's like, wait a minute, y'all were talking like nonstop until I asked you a question. So those first couple of questions are just going to be to prime the pump, to get them talking, to get it started. And then from there, we're going to get a little bit more serious. And then by the end, it's going to jump into a lot of this action, very spiritual, very like, hey, based on what we've learned, what decisions are we making? How are we changing our actions? How are we changing our perspective? What is it that we need to know? So that right there, those 5 in order, that is the co-leader teaching format. And that's something that we're really excited about. I actually literally was just talking to somebody this morning that said that they got asked to speak at a camp, and that the co-leader teaching format helped them write their camp talks, because they were like, it takes them from an idea to action every single time. And so this camp that this person is going to be speaking at, every single session is going to use this format, because they're like, it does exactly what we need it to do. And if you've ever, if you write your own stuff, you know what it's like to write a message and then to teach that message, and then at the end of it be like, I don't know if they got it. And what I love about ending with action and discussion is by the end of it, you're able to say, I think they got it. I think they understand. So that is the co-leader teaching format. Let's see. Oh, Daniel, this is a good question. Is there a way we could have different Bible translations for the slides? I've noticed it's always NLT, and I typically teach from the ESV. Daniel, you are in good company, sir. So this was a tough call for us. Originally, when we were first writing, we're like, okay, what translation are we going to use? Or are we going to use a variety? Like, what's it going to be? And we landed on the New Living Translation for a couple of reasons. And then I'll get to actually answering your question in a second. Sorry, it's that way. Really and truly, the reason we landed on the NLT is because it is readable at a very young age. So we're always trying to think, we want to teach lessons that are applicable to our middle schoolers and our high schoolers. And sometimes that means teaching and asking our younger students to hear something at a slightly higher level. But one of the ways that you can facilitate that is by making sure that, especially the scripture, is super super readable. And so that's the balance that we found in the NLT. That being said, one of the coolest things that we have started doing, let me find it because this is so great. Okay, I'm gonna go to, let me share my screen again. Okay, so I have just copied the Storyteller series. This is brand new. We started doing this at the end of year 2, so this will also be included in all of year 3 as well. Is if you go to the session and we go to yeah, in here, in this download everything for this series. It's going to be a zip file and it's going to be huge, right? I think it may also be in the series graphics as well. Yeah, it is. All right, so what we have created, and this is our incredible. Okay, can I just level with you guys? We usually say like our graphics team. It's Travis Prouty. Travis is incredible. He's a gift to humanity. But what he came up with, the idea is he calls it a it's a, see if I can open it. I was not planning on being able to share this part of the screen, so let me just gonna do it. It's gonna work. Okay, let me. So many. Okay. Yes, this is what we call our verse builder. And it is essentially just a keynote PowerPoint slide that what it'll do is it'll give you all of the fonts that you need to download. You'll download those first. You'll notice on here it doesn't look very good because I don't have the fonts installed. But Travis will give you a text file that has a link to all of the fonts that you need. And then what you do is literally then change the font and there you go. It's 100% editable, so you can change it, because there are like 1,000 versions, right? There's so many versions of the Bible that it would be really hard for us to provide the slides for every single one. But what this does is it at least gives you a starting point to be able to create the new slides in whatever translation that you use. In our own, like, as we're creating stuff, we are going to continue to use the New Living Translation. But what this does is I think it does give us kind of a middle ground where at least you're not having to start from scratch. So I think, let's see. Oh, actually, this is really good. Yeah. Oh, hey, look at this. Wow, I love this. Hey, Daniel. Thank you. And this is really one of those things, like, we really struggled on this trying to figure out. It's like, we know not everyone uses the NLT, and especially if you have a church where you have like a room set of Bible, like somebody donated a ton of money and you're like, I'm gonna buy like 100 NIV 1984, or I'm gonna buy a ton of ESVs, or I'm gonna buy a ton of the Message, or whatever it is that you use. And then I love Coleader, but all the slides are different from what the kids are reading. And so this, I think, is at least, again, it'll get you moving in the right direction. Oh, Mike has a really good question. This is really good. He says, actually, do you have a question about the slides with the scriptures? Sometimes there are long scriptures and don't fit very well on one slide. Kind of like your question. See, yeah. Also, sometimes the words are just small. Is there a way to have the longer scripture slides broken up into 2 and the words bigger and fit in space as well? Absolutely, Mike. That's so good. So yeah, no, that's really good feedback. If there ever is a time where you're just like, oh, that is unreadable, like, that's feedback we really do want. And we know, like, sometimes if you're building a slide with scripture and it's like almost too long, and you're like, should I make that 2 slides? Should I make it 1 slide? And sometimes it's a coin flip, and sometimes we get it wrong. So yeah, just let us know. And either one, you could use the brand new verse builder. to be able to set the slides however you'd like, or reach out to us. And I mean, at that point, if you're having that problem, there's a really good chance that somebody else is having that problem too. And so we'd love to fix it. It's the same thing, like kind of like if you ever find a typo. I know it never happens. Okay, it sometimes happens. But if you ever find a typo, please let us know. Because what the best part about Coleader is that if you find it and you tell us about it and we fix it, then anyone who gets it from then out, we can fix it for them without them even having to worry about it. So definitely let us know. And Mike, especially if there are times where you're like, that slide it's really good content, but it's hard to read. That's something that we absolutely want to be able to fix. Mike has another question. He says, are there any planned updates for Sidekick, or is that a conversation for another time? That is a conversation for another time, Mike. No, it's fine. No, one of my favorite things about Coleader is the one-click add-in that you can just open stuff in Sidekick. Actually, I would like to show you that here. But the short answer is, Mike, yes. Yeah, we do have some updates planned for Sidekick. One of the things that we're really have been working hard on this last couple of months has been what we call quality of life updates, just making sure that it works the way that it's supposed to work. And as we're doing that, we're secretly, well, not secret anymore, working on other stuff that will knock your socks off, if you were. It feels like a 1950s phrase. But yeah, so the short answer, Mike, is yeah, absolutely. We're definitely working on it. All right, so say if I'm in that same series, Storyteller, one of my favorite things is this button right here. Is if you don't have ProPresenter or Keynote, or you just don't want to deal with it all, and you're like, I just need to get slides on the screen and I need it to happen quick. You click Open in Sidekick, and then it does. There it is. Like that's literally like it was literally one click. And it's got the games, it's got the bumper, it's got the teaching slides. It has one with Barney and Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato for some reason. But it's got the small group question. Like it's all right there. And the best part is like if you're like, oh man, I just don't love this game. Although I'm not really sure how you could not love this game. You can just delete a game and it's gone. And then you can add something from your DYM account. So these are all the games that I've downloaded on my DYM account, and they're just there. It's absolutely incredible, and you can add those in anytime. Super, super easy. Okay, let's see. Todd Handel is too kind, sir. Too kind. Sidekick remains the best presentation software there is. I'm not going to argue with you at all. But Mike is asking, what other stuff? Tell us. We are all in need of a good sock knocking off. Well, Mike, I hate to disappoint you, but I'm going to disappoint you. I'm not going to tell you. All I can tell you is, oh man, I'm just gonna get in trouble for this. All AI can say is you're just gonna have to wait and see what that's it. That's literally the only clue I'm giving you. Oh, okay, this is really good. Okay, so a question that we got is, wait, where'd it go? Sorry. Okay, so somebody just asked. They had asked me earlier this week. They were like, "Hey, if he's like, I really like writing my own stuff. Why would I need Coleader?" Okay, listen. Here's one of my favorite reasons to get Coleader is we provide everything. Right? It's everything that you need. It's got the countdowns, it's got the games, it's got the full order of service. It's even got, if you go in and read, it's got like a potential script for how to do your welcome. It's got worship videos. It's got lyrics if you open it in Sidekick. It's got the teaching content is not only the graphics and the bumpers and all the script and the outline and all. The reason why we provide social media, I mean, parent emails, it's literally everything. And the reason that we provide everything is not so that you can use everything. It's actually so that you can spend the time doing the things that you want to do. and then let us take care of the rest. When I remember back when DYM first started, one of my favorite things to do on DYM was to download an entire series that someone had written and then delete whatever they wrote and just use their graphics. And it was great because I really enjoyed writing my own teaching. And so if you are like that, if you're like what, but what's really interesting is I went through a season where I really liked writing my own content. And then I went through a season where I really like making my own graphics and or making my own games. And what is great about Co-Leader is no matter which season you're in, if you're like, I love making graphics, I love it, then use the teaching and create your own graphics. Or if you're like, hey, I really love making the games, great, then delete the games that are included. That's totally fine and use that. But if you like to write your own, great thing is Co-Leader provides like a starting point. It's a great place to jump off from. But so use whatever works for you. And then here is the deal. You have our permission to chuck everything else. Like use what works. And that's part of why Co-Leader is priced the way it is if you've done any research looking at other curriculum companies, they are so good. Like, please don't hear me saying that they're not good because they are. They're really, really solid options out there. But you're going to find that most of them cost like 2 or sometimes even 3 or 4 times what Co-Leader costs. And that's because we know we don't want you to feel like you're buying something that you're not using. We want you to know that what you're getting is really, really high quality. But if you're not going to use it all, we don't want you to feel like you're trapped into using this because you paid for it. Use what works for you. Don't use what doesn't work. What we say is we're going to do things really well so that you can do things great, right? We want you to lean into the calling that God has placed on your life and let us take care of the things that you find draining. One of my favorite things, and I think I saw Caleb was on here earlier. My favorite stories is hearing youth leaders like Caleb who told us that, hey, the only reason that he's able to go and spend time with students out at a Starbucks or whatever is because he doesn't have to waste time creating graphics and making games and writing at the end of the day, we're here to save you as much time as we can so that you can do the things that really, really matter. Let's see. Oh yeah. Mike Arati says, can vouch for this. We write our own for Wednesday night. Then we put it in Co-Leader and small group leaders teach it later in the year. 2 lessons done. That is so good. That is so good. I mean, and that's probably something that is one of the, let me share this again. One of the unsung heroes of Co-Leader is the platform. Like, it's amazing. Really and truly, like if you're even going to create your own, your own content, literally everything from scratch, I would still suggest using the Co-Leader platform, and you can do this part for free. Like literally for free. But if you wanted to say start with a session from a series that we've got and then literally just delete everything and then add in your own stuff, what is really great is from here it becomes very organized and it's very easy to share. So say this is, like I said, this is week 1 from the series Storyteller. If I wanted to share this with leaders, all I have to do is click the share button and I can turn off all of the sections that I don't want to share, right? So say if all I want is just the small group content, right? Then all I have to do is click copy link and it will give me a link to then text to them or email to them. But if I click preview, it'll just open it. Like what they would see is they would see that same outline, except only the small group discussion. Like that's all they're going to get. What's really cool is, okay, so what we used to do is we used to use Planning Center and we would put all of the small group content in Planning Center. And then I would print a PDF and I would email that PDF to the leaders. But the problem is then I would be like, oh, I want to change a question. And so like right here, like, so let's say this very first question, it says, looking back, what's the silliest or pettiest reason you've been mad at a friend or sibling? Why did you think it was such a big deal at the time? Say, I don't love that question. So I actually want to go in and I'm going to edit that block and I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to leave the 2 there just so that we can see it. But I click save. Then what is really cool is if I go back and I refresh this page, all of those changes I just made are there. So like if I have sent that link to my leaders already and then I want to make a change, the next time they open that link, the change is already there. Like, so I don't have to send a second email and say, ignore the first one or only use the PDF that says version 9. Like, all of the changes are there and they're made in real time. It's super, super easy. Yeah, Todd Handel, I'm assuming you're talking about this. It says, easy share. Yeah, is such an underrated feature. It totally, totally is. Oh, Daniel is telling us, he says, plus you can use the program for events too. So helpful to have prepackaged events. Let me show you some of those. Let's see here. Explore. Sorry. Here we go. All right. Yeah. So what I did is on the explore page, there's this whole category of events. I got to tell you, if you're looking for just a great, if you haven't done it already, if you haven't done Neon Night, oh hey, I just said that's weird. Yeah, if you haven't done Neon Night, do Neon Night. It's so good. The Dine and Dodge is also fantastic. But if you just go to see all, you're gonna see a ton of events that you can use with your group. And it's not just student events like Dine and Dodge. There's also like volunteer appreciation parties. There's a silent disco. There's adult volunteer trainings. There's service opportunities. Paint wars. Chef's kiss. Like so good. The Mega Park Day. Jingle Jam karaoke for Christmas in July. Jingle Jam. Guided experiences. I think we have one for Easter. We have one for Thanksgiving. Like there's so many different options. But here's what's really cool is if I say this guided experience for Easter, if I go and I copy the series, I'm going to copy it to my demo group. And I'm not going to schedule it. I'll just skip that. But yeah, so check this out. Like, I want to show you what all is involved. Like, events are overwhelming. They're so overwhelming. But if you can start with a really solid plan, look at this. Like, this is already talking about like how to communicate the event. And look, all of the resources that we give. Yeah, here's a countdown video. There's a couple of games that you can play. And then this one is like, so it's where there are scenes that are these stations that are set up either around your church in different rooms or in your main auditorium, like so that there's a lot of space. And it just tells you how to do the entire thing from start to finish, get everything that you need. Like, what are the supplies I need? What do I need to print out? How do I need to explain it? Like, if you've ever just said, I don't want to do events because I don't love events, this is a great way to at least get the ball rolling and not feel like you have to start from scratch. So good. Let's see. That's a good question. Let's see. Okay. Let me find another question. Somebody. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. This is my church has used the same curriculum since Moses. That's adorable. How do I sell them on a new one? This is good. It's a great question. Is if you have used a curriculum for a really long time and you are looking to maybe try something different or new, or just you're looking for a little variety, it is sometimes it's difficult to encourage, to ask, hey, can we take this risk? Like, can we say no to this and yes to this? That is always difficult. So here are some things that I would suggest as you are looking to kind of walk your supervisor or your senior pastor, whoever it is that you need to convince. As you're walking through, I think one, I would start absolutely with the teaching structure. When we created this, it was based on this understanding that students need something practical to be able to do in response. Okay, Mike. First of all, Mike. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. He says, "LOL is a great question. Great question. One that Josh wrote for himself." No, I didn't. This was Ronald Long. I just put it in the chat so that I could share it. So don't. Just don't. All right, but yeah, but yeah, the reason that we decided to go so heavy on action is because we know that students need something practical to be able to do to help internalize and help cement the concepts that we're teaching. And the reality was, is a lot of curriculum that we had used on our team in different contexts all around the country, it just always felt like it was a little light on action. And so if you have ever found yourself in that same spot where you're like, I love the content, but it doesn't feel like there's enough that it gets them to do. That's one thing that we really feel like sets Co-Leader apart from a lot of other curriculum. Another thing is share with them some of the what other people are saying. These are so great. But what is probably going to, at the end of the day, be the thing is going to be this right here. Um, Again, curriculum costs a lot. Like it just is. Nobody's saying that $449 a year is not a large purchase. It really is. But if you are using some of the other curriculum that we've seen, even just like in the last little while, it's really expensive. It's really really expensive. And when you are used to paying 1,000 or 1,200 or 1,400 a year, it just kind of gets baked into that budget. And so I would say part of the conversation really is, hey, we want to try something new, and here's the reason why we like the content. Like start there. But one of the best things is, yeah, is it a gamble? Sure. But something that makes that gamble a little bit easier is that there isn't a one in front of this number. Like it's cheaper than almost every other curriculum that's out there. So I would say do that. But then I'd also just ask, hey, can we try it? You can get Level Up as an absolutely free series. If you've never, you just go right on, get it, use it, no problem. You can use it absolutely, and I'll give you a QR code at the end of of our stream today that will not only give you Level Up for free, but will give you the Mega Park Day Part 2, which is just what does it look like to set up an event where you just ask your students to show up at a local park. It's so good. But there are tons of questions here. But here's the deal: if you are really struggling to try and help someone understand why you would want to switch to Co-Leader, I would encourage you to reach out to support@coleader.co, and we can set up a time to actually sit down and talk through it with you. And if you want to invite your supervisor into the conversation, that would be great. We'd love to do that. I think that would be awesome. And now back to, oh, look at this great question that someone asked. This is a really, really good question. Don't you agree, Mike? I think this one is so good. Let's see. Okay, this is another one that someone else wrote, but it's going to say that it's from DYM because that's the only way that I could get questions early and get them put in. So it looks like I wrote it. I want to be real clear. I did not write this. Someone else did. It says, I'm already a DYM Platinum member. Is Co-Leader included in my membership? Yeah, it is. One of the best things about, like I said, $449 per year for Co-Leader. But if you are already in the DYM ecosystem and you're just like, look, I want it all. I want literally everything. Then we can do that too. What Platinum right now is $9.99 a year, and it includes Co-Leader, is Co-Leader Premium Plus. So you'll get those 520 credits every year. You also basically get a DYM Gold Plus membership, which is let's see, it's 50% off of everything in the DYM store. You also get $20 credit every single month. You get free resources every single month. It's so good. But it also includes the National Day of Volunteer Training, and it includes Youth Ministry University, and it includes a ticket to DYM 100, an in-person event in California. So it's so good. Like literally, if you're like, hey, how do I make the most out of my budget, I'm always going to tell you it's going to be the Platinum membership. Just go to dymmembership.com and you can compare all of the memberships there. But Platinum membership is basically like getting everything that we do for about half price. It's kind of obnoxious. Yeah, we joke that it's basically like if you become a Platinum member, it's basically like we just give you the routing and account number to the DYM checking account, and you just take money out of it. Is more or less how it works. Yeah, my camera agrees. It's worth the price of admission. Yeah, not a lie. And Daniel is telling that maybe I'm a little triggered by Mike Hammer. That's not wrong. Okay. No, listen, Mike. You can comment as much as you want, dude. No, we're glad you're here. All right. I'm going to say we got time for maybe one or two. Oh, you know what? Let's see. This actually gets at a question that this is like a combination of questions that a couple people have asked. How do credits work? Do they roll over from year to year? Okay, so with credits, the way they work is, let me share my screen again. Go here. Yeah, is you're gonna notice when you open up the explore page to see all of the possible series that you could get, there's not a price, it's a number of credits. So every time that you subscribe, you're gonna get a premium plus subscription is gonna have 520 credits. A premium subscription is gonna have 260 credits. But what basically what you do is it's like at the beginning of your subscription, we give you this load of credits, and then you get to spend those throughout the year. So if you want a 4-week series, it's generally going to be 40 credits. So 520 credits is an entire year. But the question that was asked is also, okay, how does it work with do they expire? Do they roll over? And this is the deal. So your credits expire after 1 year. So if let's see, pricing options, yeah. So here are your options for purchasing credits. You can do that as a subscription that automatically renews every year. So you can do $449 a year for 520 credits, or $299 a year for 260 credits. So it's basically half a year worth of content. We've seen a lot of people do this, and it works really well if you meet every other week, or if you know, like, hey, I'm gonna create 4 or 5 of my own series every year, so I don't really need the full year. Maybe I can do it this way. But this one is usually pretty good if you also want to do a lot of events. But what we found is if you go with the half a year and you get to the end of the year and you run out of credits, you can also get a credit pack that is a one-time payment. So it's not like you're not adding a subscription or anything like that. So you can get 100. Let's see, was it 100 credits for 149 or 40 credits? So this is like one full series for about 69. So then every year on the year anniversary of your subscription, those original credits, if you have those left over, those are going to expire, and you're going to then get a new load of 520 or 260 credits when your subscription renews. But here's the key: credits expire, but content doesn't. So what we always tell people is, say, if you get to the end of the year and you're like, I've got 80 credits left and I don't want them to expire, but I also don't know, just go trade them for something. Go get 2 series, go get a few events, go get some training stuff, go get something. Because as soon as you go to a series and you hit copy series and we put it in the demo group, it's in there. Like, you don't have to worry about it anymore, because that will, let me see, if I go now to my demo group, this series is never going to expire. So even if if I cancel my subscription, if I take my laptop and I set it on fire, this series is still going to be in your dashboard. You are always going to be able to access this, so you don't have to worry about it. So if you're like, okay, look, I don't know what series I want to teach, but you've got Christmas coming up, go get a Christmas series. Or you've got Easter coming up, go get an Easter series. Or hey, if you haven't planned your summer, but you're going to involve, you want to have like 4 events over the course of the summer, just go get 4 events. Because I like that. What Daniel says, we can put this on a t-shirt. Credits expire, but content doesn't. Also, PSA, don't set your laptops on fire, people. I'm not telling you to set your laptop on fire. I'm just saying, if you did, it would not remove this from your dashboard. So so credits expire after 1 year. You can use them on anything in the store. And here's the deal too: if you use them on something like in the store, if I go to the explore page, like I said, there are tons of stuff here. we absolutely are going to always stand behind everything that says Team Co-Leader. That's like the stuff that's a part of the year 1, year 2, and year 3, and the upcoming year 4 and year 74. Uh, but what you're going to notice is there is also on the store, there is a lot of stuff. Let's see. Clear it all. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here like Sabrina Hadro, Ronald Long, Matthew McNutt, Kevin Yee. These are some Ken Leslie. Like these are authors that we love and trust. And so if you use your credits, say if you're like, I'm going to use my 30 credits on this, The Life, the Universe, and Everything by Matthew McNutt, and you get it, and you're like, and Matthew, please hear me. I'm not picking on you, man, because I don't think anybody's ever returned a Matthew McNutt series. So this is why I can say this. But if you're like, it just doesn't work for our group, please reach out to support at coleader.co. We will absolutely refund the credits for any series. If it just isn't what you thought it was going to be, or it just doesn't seem like it's going to work with your group, let us know. Like the last thing we want is you feeling like you locked yourself in a corner. Like trap yourself in a corner. You paint yourself. We don't want you to feel like you've locked yourself in a corner. That is not possible to do. But we just don't want you to feel like that ever. So if there's ever a time where you're like, I use my credits on this thing and it's just not what I wanted, reach out. We will happily give you your credits back. That is not a problem. Okay, so let's see. I think that's about all the time we have. I will not leave us with a question. I will leave us with a statement of fact by Tim Wadsworth. This is so great. Tim, or should I say Shakespeare? I mean, you nailed it, man. This is so great. Like, yeah, here's the deal. We love what we're doing here. The content that we're putting out, the fact that we're able to help youth workers do what they do and do it even better, is just, it's literally what gets us out of bed in the morning. Like, we are so excited about year 1. We're so excited about year 2. We're excited about year 3, the first quarter of which is dropping in July. Jake Schneiderhan, could not agree more. Tim is great. Let's see. Let's see. This is good. Okay, I will leave on this one. Do you know if there's any sort of notification that goes out to let you know that you have 30 days left before your credits expire or anything like that? I just don't know when that happens for us. Yes, I believe every month you get an email that says how many credits you have. I need to find out what email goes out. There's definitely an email that goes out. I think it's 14 days ahead. 7 days. Michelle coming in clutch. Says, yes, you get a notification, I believe, 7 days before your renewal. But if you're ever curious, look in your account. You can see when your last payment was, or just reach out to support. We're glad to help you figure that out. That's not a problem at all. The other thing Michelle is also saying is duplicates also happen. Like I said, if you do accidentally click copy on a series and it takes extra credit, just reach out. Let us know. We will 100% fix that for you. Last but certainly not least, if you ever have questions, please feel free. You can reach out to me on the Facebook group. That is super effective. I'm not just on there yelling at people to add a salary window to their job descriptions. You can just tag me in a post. You can ask, or you can just email support@coleader.co. And here's the deal. This is actually really neat. When you do that, that goes to a person. That goes to human beings. It is almost always Michelle. Michelle is our favorite. She is so good and she's so helpful. But if there's ever a question, just reach out, ask us. We want to be able to help you do everything that you want to do and do it really, really well. If you have not already, I will suggest go check out the year 3 scope and sequence. It's got a full layout of every single series that is going to drop this new year, starting in July. Dude, I literally could not be more excited about these 3 or 4 series and the new Tough Talk that's coming out. It's going to be so good. That is all I've got for you. Other than when I say goodbye, I'm going to put up a QR code that you can scan. Remember when we thought QR codes were not going to take off, and then they did? And what you're going to get when you scan that is you can get a free copy of Level Up, Paul's Letter to the Ephesians, one of our best series from year 2. And then and you can also get Mega Park Day, which is an event that is literally, what do you do if you just tell all your students, show up at this park at this time, and we're going to play a bunch of games and do some contests. It's going to be so good. So I'm going to put that QR code up, but I want you to know that I think you're awesome, and I'm excited that you're doing what you're doing. Keep doing it, and let us know how we can help. In the meantime, ask any questions that you got, and I'll see you next time. Laters.